Where to live in the Philippines. Now, you as a single man coming to the Philippines to retire, you will want to live in a bit of a bigger city. If you are unfamiliar with the cities, let me give you a bit of a rundown, okay? A bit of a game plan. There are four main cities in the Philippines for foreigners to start their lives in, okay? So number one, the most northern city is Angeles City, and this is the best if you enjoy beer and checking out hookers and having lots of bars around, having a great airport. Hey, Angeles City's the right place to be for you. But a little caveat here, nearby, just next door to Angeles City, you could basically walk there, is Clark. It's right next to Angeles City, and it's basically a brand new modern city, just like living in America. City number two is BGC Manila. If you enjoy a life similar to America. Look, Clark is also like America, but BGC is just a little more established. It's a little more bigger. It's got more going on. But BGC is city number two. Now, city number three is Cebu City. And listen, if traveling around is a high priority for you, then you will prefer Cebu. Because from Cebu, you can go anywhere. You got the airport there, going anywhere locally and internationally. And it's a good airport too. And you also got the Cebu Ferry port, so you can go basically anywhere you want via the ferry. And that's better if you're sort of bringing your motorcycle with you, for example. So if you decide to live in Cebu, it would be a good idea to get an Airbnb around the Ayala Mall area. You want to be within walking distance of Ayala Mall because you can join hundreds of other foreigners who just hang out at Ayala Mall all day, every day. Ayala Mall is a safe and convenient area, and there's a lot of places to hang out there inside the mall. You can do everything from dental work to renewing your travel visa. And it's easy to make new friends there. A lot of guys just hanging around at the coffee shops. They're bored. There's nothing to do. A new guy's in town. Hey, how you doing? And city number four is Dumaguete. I lived there for 5 months and I loved it. It's really a mecca. Dumaguete is really a mecca for foreigners to just live a simple life. Beaches, good food, good restaurants. They got a lot of foreign food there. There's a big boardwalk along the ocean. There's a Sunday market up in Valencia. You have the option of living in Valencia, which is a bit of a cooler climate. And you can basically walk from Dumaguete to Valencia. It's an easy place to live. And a bonus with Dumaguete is that there are so many available apartments to choose from. It's really a renter's market there in Dumaguete. I mean, there's apartments for rent all over the place. You need to access cash when you get here to the Philippines. So step one is to arrive in the Philippines. You want to have pesos in your pocket when you arrive here, okay? You do this by going to a money exchange place in your city. Don't wait until you get to the airport and exchange here. Do it in the city you live in. Now, I'm from Vancouver, Canada. There are many exchange shops, and I go there to exchange my Canadian money into Philippine pesos. And you'll want to exchange maybe 100,000 pesos, 150,000 pesos, just so that you got money in your pocket. Now, once you're in the country and you need money, your best bets are to use your ATM card because that's just the easiest way. So while you're at home, be sure to tell your bank, let them know that you will be in the Philippines just so that they don't freeze your card. Second thing regarding your ATM card is only use the card inside an actual bank or even a 7-Eleven. Most banks will allow you to take out 10,000 pesos or $200 per day, but you got banks like BPI Bank and China Bank. They're all over the place. They're in, I believe, every city in the Philippines. They will allow you to take out 20,000 pesos. 7-Eleven will also allow a 20,000 peso or 400 USD withdrawal at the ATM machine inside 7-Eleven. Now, if you want to be extra prepared, you want to download the app Remitly, okay? Everyone has their favorite app for sending money. I've seen a lot of people use World Remit, but I love Remitly because it's just so easy. Set up Remitly before you get here so that it's just one less headache when you get here. After Remitly is all set up on your phone, you basically just press two buttons to get money sent to you. It's really cool. I used to use Western Union to send money with the Western Union app, but then suddenly they made me wait 7 days to actually, like, from sending the money to actually receiving it, I guess for security purposes, but I stopped using Western Union because why wait with Western Union if you can use Remitly or World Remit and you get the money right away? Now, when you get here, you got to deal with the tourist visa. Now, let's assume you're an American or you're from a Western country. Now, you buy your ticket to the Philippines, then you need to have an exit ticket, okay? Very important. You need to be able to show that you are leaving the Philippines. So you plan it like this, okay? You fly into the Philippines on, say, November 1st. You want to buy a ticket that exits the Philippines on November 28th or earlier. You can just get a cheap ticket, maybe it's $50 and then you just forget about it. Or you can get a refundable ticket and just get a refund after you arrive here. That's probably a good idea, but then you got to deal with the airlines to get the refund. I don't know if that's a pain in the butt or not. I've never done it. You can also buy an exit ticket from onwardtickets.com, but for an extra $30 compared to Onward Tickets, you can actually just get a real ticket. So that's up to you. So that's your call. Once you're in the Philippines, in your first month, go to any immigration office. They're in every tier 1 and tier 2 city pretty much, and tell them you want another month, and it's going to be about $80. Then after that, you can start to get 2-month extensions, okay? So when you arrive, you get a free month, then you can renew for 1 month, and then you can start to renew for 2 months. Now, a good tip regarding extending your visa is to just, if you want to make everything simple, if you don't want to deal with the lineups, the paperwork, etc., give your passport to a travel agency, okay? Now, in Angeles City, where I am right now, many foreigners use Omega Travel, but there are agencies all over. But Omega just has great service, and they seem to be cheaper. Anyway, leave your passport with them, with the travel agency, and just communicate via text message if you want it renewed. And trust me, it's so much freaking easier. Now, a lot of people, they don't want to sort of quote leave their passport with the travel agency. Trust me, it's perfectly fine if you don't want to. Okay, well, you can just walk into the travel agency with your passport and have them do it, and then you can go pick it up. But personally, I think it's safer being there. I might lose it or something as I'm traveling around. Now, you're going to have some problems, but for every problem, there's a solution. Look, I've heard a lot of people complaining about life in the Philippines. I mostly hear it on the Facebook forums, but you have to take a bit of a strategic approach, okay? Like, for example, long lineups at ATM machine is one common complaint, okay? So what you do is you find out when there are no lineups, and then make sure you hit the ATM at the time and that place. For example, I hit the ATM machine twice a month, on the 3rd and the 17th at 9 a.m. I'm the only person in line. Because if you suddenly need money and you hit the ATM machine at the wrong time, you're going to be in line for an hour or two. You got to be strategic with your problems here. If your city has a lot of brownouts, okay, then live in a city with no brownouts. I would recommend Manila, CDO, Cagayan de Oro, or Davao. If the land around your house floods easily, then find a place to live a little more uphill. Too much traffic? Live in a city where you can just walk everywhere. The point being that you have to identify exactly what the problems are, and then you use your brain to rectify those problems. And remember, one piece of advice to avoid headaches: don't simp on the local girls, because they will use you up and dry you out until the well is empty. You give them a salary? Yeah, good luck with that relationship. One thing that pisses me off in the Philippines is watching these morons simp on girls, giving them allowance, buying them land, buying them a house, buying them a car, buying them a Carabao, and then they complain that, oh, she left me after I bought her some land. If you want no headaches, rent everything, okay? Don't buy anything, just rent everything, from your house to everything else, if you get my drift. That's just a strategy if you don't want headaches. Another common complaint in the Philippines is the heat. Okay, well, what you do is this: you stay home during the afternoons, get a comfortable sofa, watch TV, have a beer. I mean, if it's me, if it's hot, I just sweat. I go home and take a shower. I mean, look, some people, they've been pampered their entire life, and they've never had a tough day. They wash their dishes with Palmolive soap. I call these guys wimps, and you gotta identify. I say this for a reason. I say that because, I've met women here tougher than a lot of the foreign men. If you are planning to live in the Philippines, you have to be just a little bit, a tiny bit tough. Just to give you some reference, okay? Look, if Pee Wee Herman could beat you up in a boxing match, you may be better off just sticking to wherever your comfort zone is and avoiding the Philippines. A lot of people retire and they feel bored with they got this daily repetitive life. It's like they wake up, they go for a cup of coffee, and then they step outside the coffee shop and they're like, well, what do I do now? But like everything I'm talking about, you've got to be strategic. So just answer this question, okay? Now, if you're fighting boredom, or if you think you will be fighting boredom, just answer this question, okay? What makes you happy? Do you want a lot of girls? Do you want to explore hiking? Do you want to ride a motorbike around the country? Do you enjoy restaurants, swimming in blue ocean water, having lots of friends? What makes you happy? Because there's an unlimited amount of things you could do to make yourself happy. And the best things in life are free. If you feel bored, I really recommend you take a strategic approach to this problem, okay? Ask yourself, what makes you happy? What makes you excited? I mean, moving to the Philippines at one point got you excited. So you do feel excited. I mean, you do have that excited gene in you. So go to a coffee shop, sit down with a pen and paper, and brainstorm. Make a list of things that you want to do. What I really recommend newcomers do is to make a list of 5 cities and book a 1-month Airbnb in each city and just get a feel for that city. If you do this, what will probably happen is you're going to meet a girl at some point in some city and just end up staying in that city because of that new girlfriend of yours. Even if you break up later on, by the time you break up, you've now been in that city for a few months or a while and you start to feel comfortable there. The point being, the more you move around, the more opportunities and enlightenments, let's just say, are going to be bestowed upon you. Some more random advice. Download Google Maps or whatever area you're settling in prior to arriving. If you're moving to, say, Cebu, like that's just your first point or you plan to stay there, just remember, go to Google Maps and download the map of that area. So even if you don't have a load or a signal, Wi-Fi, internet, you will be able to navigate your way around using your phone. Speaking of Google Maps, you want to utilize the flag function on Google Maps. The longer you live in one town, the more hidden gems you discover. Flag them so you can easily find them next time.
Okay, for example, see, I put up your hidden gems in the Philippines, okay? So...
Number 7, Antique.
Okay.
Known for offering diverse
So you got Antique, okay? So now, go to, let's open... We're gonna get an Antique. Yeah, I already have it saved. But where is it? Antique. Okay, yeah, Antique. So this is a... So basically, if I'm ever there, if I'm ever in the area, I know I got it flagged there and I can check and see, what did I flag? Oh yeah, Antique. I was checking that a couple years ago. I want to go. But if I didn't flag it, I would never have remembered about it.
On top of that, use YouTube to find hidden gems around the country and put a flag on Google Maps, and it might motivate you to actually check out and actually see that hidden gem somewhere in the Philippines. Some more advice. When you come here, you'll need a local signal or phone number. So you have options, okay? If you're American, you can use some American T-Mobile or whatever it is and get a worldwide plan. Although I think locals won't be able to call you, but people can still call you using WhatsApp. If you want a local number, you can get that either at the airport or at any shopping mall in the country. Once you live in the Philippines, what a lot of foreigners do is they buy a cheap, like a $100 cheap phone, and they use that as their Philippines phone. So they got their American phone with everything they need, their banking and whatnot, and then they got their $100 Philippines phone. If you're one of these guys that wants love, you want a girlfriend, then there are 2 options. You can either find her online or in person. In person will work best like this, okay? You are in public, you're walking around, and remember one thing about female psychology. Women don't make mistakes. If she gives you the eye or a smile or an obvious gesture, she's doing that because she's attracted to your vibration. But there's another option here, and it's a little less intimidating than having to approach a woman in public. And it's just, you meet a girl online. Is that the best way? No, but it is an option. And a lot of guys have met their wife using dating sites. But you gotta know there was one very strong rule about online dating in the Philippines. If the girl you're talking to asks for money, that means that's what she's interested in, okay? A legit girl, she's not gonna ask for money. That's the reason she joined that site. She wants money. She's asking you and she's asking 10 other guys to send her money. Avoid avoid that girl. Online dating in the Philippines is scam central. However, there are actual well-intentioned girls on the dating site. You gotta sift through the scam girls online, aka the ones who ask you for money, sift through them, and find your real girl. Okay, and I do apologize if for some of you, some of this advice is pretty obvious, but this video was more directed for newcomers to the Philippines. I just want them to be more strategic with their retirement plans, their new life here in the Philippines. But adios to my great brethren. By the way, I have started a new channel that is more of a political or news aspect. It's kind of my passion. I linked it in the description, but the other channel is not for those people who think it's a good idea that transgendered men compete in women's sports. Anyway, I'll get off that topic. Have an exciting day, my great brethren.